Hey, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and it's that season. It's the season of spookiness, and Hulu has one hell of a film here. This is Matriarch. I knew nothing about it. It was just like, oh, Hulu's releasing another film this week. Cool. There's not really anybody in the cast that got me excited, so I had zero expectations for this film, and I knew nothing about it. It was up there, it was new release, Hulu exclusive. I was like, that means it should have audio description, because Hulu only seems to carry audio description on things that it considers to be exclusive to its service. So, yeah, I'm a blind film critic, and this film was fun to sort of conceptually visualize what was happening. And I don't really want to tell you anything about it. I really don't want to tell you anything about this film, because as soon as I do, I feel like it loses the effect of how this film just so totally goes off the walls. Like, it just 100% goes off the walls and keeps going off the walls. Like, this film like breaks through all of the walls and just keeps rolling down the hill, and you're like, stop, somebody stop this movie. Where is it going? I don't know. What would I even compare this film to? I don't know. I feel like if I say film titles, people are going to be like looking for the comparisons in those films. So there are films that this is like, for sure. But I don't really want to say, because you won't really pick up on the vibe. I can't say that you'll guess how this movie ends from the beginning, from like the first half of the film. It's not a very long film, so I have to say half, because by the second half you've gotten enough just sort of vibes from the film that this is not going well, and things start happening increasingly weirder and grosser. Not necessarily gorier, but grosser. It's a whole different kind. It's a different monster altogether. So let's talk a little bit about Matriarch, just so that you know a little bit about what it is. There's a girl, Laura, and she's not having happy fun times. And out of the blue, her mom, who she hasn't talked to in 20 years, calls her, and she's like, don't hang up. I know we haven't spoken in 20 years, but I can tell you're not happy. And Laura's like, fuck, she's right. I'm not. Man, how could you tell? So, that's basically the first third of the movie. I don't know. It's building Laura's story is the first third of the movie. She has this ex-girlfriend, and they're like from this small town, but they don't currently live there. Anyway, so they both end up going back, but Laura is the main one that you're following. Laura ends up going back to visit her mom for a little while for some R&R and to hear her out or whatever. I don't know. They hate. She hates her. It's in sort of a nondescript way that we hate all parents who we haven't talked to in 20 years. And she shows back up at home, and mom is seemingly welcoming and understanding. And the film is called Matriarch, so there you go. Weird things happen, and the genre for this film is somewhere between this is a spoiler, but I know somebody's going to be like, is it a zombie movie? Is it a vampire movie? Like, what kind of movie am I getting myself into here? Somewhere between like a creature film and like a religious implications cult thing. Uh, it's along with like group mentality stuff. I don't know. This film is nuts. I did not know what I was jumping myself into. This film goes off the rails. That's the best way to describe it. And I didn't hate it. I didn't hate this film. I actually thought it was decent for what it was happening. And then when things start getting batty, like absolutely, I have no idea what this film looks like. For anybody who's visual, the descriptions that I get on some of this stuff, which I can't share because it would immediately give the film away, are nuts. So basically, I spent the whole film going, "What the fuck is happening?" Like the whole film, like the last half of the film, I'm just like, "What? What did the narrator just tell me? What is happening?" So yeah, it was a ride. This is one of those random films where I feel like everybody should see it. But also, I don't think anybody will care. It doesn't have anybody in it. There's no one in this film that would make you go, "Oh, yeah, I really want to go see the new Helen Mirren movie." Like, and there's some really weird stuff that happens in here, by the way. I gotta say, there's this church scene that is... It takes the cake. And it's not that it's gory. It's just like... I guess Midnight Mass would be the safest comp, but I'll tell you, it's not a vampire movie. So, in the traditional sense, for people who are like, "Oh my god, Midnight Mass, that means it's a vampire movie!" No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, it's like Midnight Mass, because there's a lot of stuff that revolves around church and stuff in this film, and if I remember correctly, he was coming home, he had been away, so... certain things like that. There's a lot of themes that are the same as that. So yeah, there's a church scene in here that's nuts. I don't know that it's gory though. I think it's a certain kind of gore, but it's not the kind of gore that we usually think about when we think of gory. So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting film. I hope you enjoy it. The audio description here, I knew immediately was Roy Samuelson, and then the credits just validated me. So it's got great audio description for a random Hulu movie that is not even rated. It's rated TVMA, which I had to explain to somebody. I was like, the NPAA rates films, but there is no policing the TVMA, TV-14, TV... I mean, there's like a guideline, but no actual board watches this content and then actually chooses these ratings. They're self-chosen. They're self-policed. So, do I think it earned its TVMA rating? Yes, I do. It is TVMA. I would not watch this with kids. They would be asking far too many questions that you do not want answered. This is definitely not a film for kids. This is not one of those films either, too, where I'm trying to tell you, don't show your kids that kind of gore. They shouldn't see that kind of violence. I'm telling you, there's some weird shit that happens in this film that I'm trying not to spoil for you, that you do not want to explain to your kids. Okay. You do not want to have those conversations. So, Matriarch is for adults. It's weird as shit. I liked it. I don't know that it's gory. It's disturbing. It's creepy. It has at least one jump scare attempt. I would call it a jump scare attempt. So, I mean, it kind of has that going for it. It's better than I thought it was going to be for some random film. So I will put my stamp of approval on Matriarch. I'm going to give Matriarch, which was quite a ride. Thank you, Hulu, for this one. I could truly say I have not seen anything like this. I'm going to give Matriarch a B+. I'm going to swing high on this one. Give me, if you're looking for something just way out in left field to watch, something, good God, then Matriarch might be your film. And if you stayed this long through the review, I might be a person you want to add to this subscription, because I I don't edit. I just laugh through these things. So if you like that, I'm different than the other critics in that way. I don't feel like chopping up my reviews. So try to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. That would be great. Also, I have a website, macthemovieguy.com, if you want more of my content. I have a Twitter handle at macthemovieguy. There's a recurring theme on that one. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to theadmin.org and you can type in Roy Samuelson's name and you can see all of the things that he's narrated because he is quite a prolific narrator. That is it from me. And this one was, yeah. So I got to go review something else, but I will see you on the other side.